For years, I believed carbs were the villain. You know how they do and how they've always done about carbs. Carbs are always negative. Every headline warned me. Bread makes you gain weight. Pasta spikes your blood sugar. Rice ruins your health. So I kind of cut down on it. I was proud of my low carb discipline. But then I started running and I started running seriously and everything changed. My performance plateaued, my legs felt heavy, recovery was brutal. I could barely get through a run. I mean, it was killing me. My muscles were screaming. That's how I felt. They were so tight and fatigued. That was the turning point. I had to stop fearing carbs and I had to start understanding them and how they work and how they help my body function at optimal performance, especially with the running. What happened next shocked me. My endurance skyrocketed when I started incorporating carbs more back into my daily diet. My recovery improved, and running finally felt like freedom instead of punishment. And I look forward to it. Here's what I didn't realize at that time back then. Carbs are the body's preferred source of quick energy. When you eat carbs, they break down into glucose, the fuel for muscles and brain. During endurance exercises, glucose gets stored as glycogen in your muscles and liver. That's your reserve tank. Without it, your body scrambles to burn fat or protein, and that process is far less efficient. That's why low carb runners hit that dreaded wall early, too. It's not lack of willpower, it's lack of glycogen. What does it look like in real life, you might ask? Okay, here's how it looks. Imagine a runner starting the 10K. If glycogen stores are full, they run steady, draw energy easily, and finish strong. If glycogen is depleted, fatigue creeps in by mile 3. Muscles feel like cement, pace collapses. That difference isn't talent, it's fuel. When I started eating balanced carbs before runs, I could hold a faster pace longer. Same body, same training, but with carbs. The tank was full. Here's where the carbs are bad idea falls apart. Low carb eating might trigger quick weight loss, but for endurance athletes, it sabotages performance. Without glycogen, your body starts breaking down muscle protein for energy. Instead of strengthening your legs, you're tearing them down and burning fat alone, too slow to match running demands. That's why my low carb runs felt like dragging a backpack full of bricks uphill. It wasn't laziness, I was just under fueling. Carbs aren't only about powering the run, they're about recovery afterward as well. After exercise, your muscles are primed to refill glycogen. If you don't provide carbs within a few hours, that window closes and recovery drags. That's when soreness lingers and energy feels drained. I've tested that myself. One long run, I skipped carbs afterwards. I felt sluggish for nearly a week. Another run, I ate rice and vegetables after. By the next morning, my legs felt lighter. I felt good. Carbs don't just fuel performance, they speed recovery. Not all carbs are equal. White bread and soda, quick glucose, quick crash. Complex carbs like oats, quinoa, sweet potatoes, digest slowly, energy stays steady. For runners, that stability is gold. Oatmeal with fruit before a long run, that's slow release fuel right there. Donuts before training, quick spike, followed by a slump halfway through. The question isn't carbs good or bad, it's which carbs and when. And let's make sure we're clear that timing matters just as much as the type of carbs you eat. Eat heavy carbs at night without activity, stored energy you don't use. Eat carbs 2 hours before a run, direct fuel right when you need it. For me, rice and beans or banana with peanut butter became my pre-run ritual. During runs longer than 90 minutes, quick carbs like gels or dried fruit keep the glycogen tank from emptying. And I use performance gels, but mine are natural. They're made with honey. I want to put a disclaimer on that. For everyone who is trying to lose weight, the performance gel that I use, the natural performance gel made out of honey that I use when I run, it's an additional 100 calories. So if you are counting calories and you're trying to lose weight, you would need to account for that additional 100 calories in your daily caloric budget. After my run, pairing carbs with protein repairs muscle and refuels energy. Timing carbs strategically turn running from a grind into a perfectly timed rhythm. Here's something most people overlook. Your brain runs almost entirely on glucose. When I was low carb, mental fog hit me mid run. Mental fog would hit me midday, honestly. I couldn't track pace. I couldn't focus on stride. Even my joy in running faded. Once I reintroduced steady carbs, mental clarity returned. I could monitor breathing, adjust form, actually enjoy the process again. Carbs weren't just fueling my legs, they were fueling my mind. Here's something else we don't think about as runners. Carbs help you with hydration as well. Each gram of glycogen stored in muscles binds to about 3 grams of water. That means carb loading isn't just about energy. It literally keeps muscles hydrated. When I cut carbs, long runs left me parched, no matter how much water I drank. With balanced carbs, my body held hydration better, fewer cramps, less fatigue, smoother runs. Carbs aren't only fuel, they're part of your water supply system. If carbs are this valuable, why do they have such a bad reputation? Because diet culture oversimplifies. Most people equate carbs with pastries, chips, and soda. But fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, these are carbs too. When someone cuts carbs, they often cut junk food. They lose weight and blame the carb. In reality, they eliminated excess calories, not the nutrient itself. For athletes, this confusion is dangerous. It leads to underfueling and performance tanks. So, how do you use carbs wisely? It comes down to balance and intention. Don't drown every plate in pasta, but don't starve your muscles either. A runner's plate includes carbs paired with protein and healthy fats, quinoa with roasted vegetables and tofu, long-lasting energy, muscle repair, micronutrients for health. That's balance. For me, this approach kept me lean, energized, and strong without ever fearing carbs again. Here's the truth I wish I knew sooner. Carbs were never the enemy. They were the missing ally. They fill your glycogen tank so you can go the distance. They speed recovery so you're ready for the next challenge. They hydrate your muscles, fuel your brain, and unlock performance potential you didn't even know you had. Carbs aren't indulgence, they're strategy. Choose the right kinds, time them wisely, and use them to fuel both body and mind. Because the day I stopped fearing carbs and started understanding them was the day my running finally transformed. If this video helped you, there's so much more waiting for you on Plants Feed Your Soul. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next tip. I'll see you in the next video.